Welcome to week 13, summer of 2024 in Explore the Bible. Today we're finishing up our quarter in the book of Acts. We're going to continue it next quarter. We'll go through the rest of the book of Acts as we go into the fall. But here today we're going to be in Acts chapter 12. Before we look at that passage, be sure and subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up to like. If you've got a comment or a question and want to tell us where you're watching from, put that in the comments and then share the video with somebody else that you think it'll be helpful to. And the other thing that we'd ask is if you want to support what we're doing in mission and teaching, go to give.exposedtochrist.com. Okay, let's look at Acts chapter 12. When Herod was about to bring him out for trial, okay, once again, picking up in the middle, right? Read chapter 11 and 12. When Herod was about to bring him out for trial, that very night, Peter, bound with two chains, was sleeping between two soldiers while the sentries in front of the door guarded the prison. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. Striking Peter on the side, he woke him up and said, "Quick, get up." And the chains fell off his wrist. "Get dressed," the angel told him, "and put on your sandals." And he did. "Wrap a cloak around you," he told him, "and follow me." Okay, so Peter's in jail. He's about to appear before Herod for a trial, right? The night before, he's in jail. I mean, look at how it describes, okay? He's bound with two chains. He's got two guards. He's between two soldiers, and there are sentries in front of the door. So it appears that there are at least four that are guarding this prison, and this two specifically for this cell, right? And so there's a lot of other people around here. Peter is snoozing, right? I mean, he is out, right? And it says, this angel of the Lord appears, the light shone in the cell, and he had to strike Peter on the side to wake him up. Now, this whole story is a little comical. It's got some things in it that are kind of funny to me. Okay, maybe I'm a little odd in that sense of humor, but I just think it's funny. Normally, when the angel shows up, what's the first thing? Everybody falls down, they hit their knees, they're scared to death, and the angel says, "Fear not." Peter is in jail, sleeping like a baby. No worries. He is completely content that the Lord has his life in his hands. He's not worried at all. He's snoozing. He is out, so much so that when the angel shows up with this bright light, which we'll talk about in a minute, the other things about this, okay? He has to hit him on the side. He has to push him. "Peter, get up." The chains fell off the wrist. He has to tell him, "Get dressed." I think Peter is out, right? "Put on your shoes. Put your cloak around you. Come on, let's go. You follow me." You see this? It's like Peter is so out in the middle of the night. The angel's having to tell him every little thing. "Put your shoes on. Wrap your coat around you. Come on now. Here we go. Let's go." He's just, I think he's so content with where he is. The Lord's got me. I'm not worried. And he almost missed the Lord's deliverance, right? So he went out and he followed, and he did not know that what the angel did was really happening, but he thought he was seeing a vision. Okay, you see that? I mean, it's got to be a dream, right? This can't be real. It's some vision I'm having. After they passed the first and second guards, they came to the iron gate that leads into the city, which opened to them by itself. So they passed the first guards, they passed the second guards, they're going past multiple layers of security, right? They get to the gate opens by itself. They went outside, past one street, and suddenly the angel left him. And the angel's gone. And he's outside. He's outside. So it's not a vision. He realizes then it's not a vision. It's the real thing. He's outside the prison now. So when Peter comes to himself, that's what he said. When Peter comes to himself, when he figures out where he is, what in the world has happened, right? That it was real. It wasn't just a dream. He says, "Now I know for certain that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's grasp and from all that the Jewish people expected." And as soon as he realized this, he went to the house of Mary. So we've got this twice, right? This statement about he came to himself, he realized what was going on. So he goes to the house of Mary, the mother of John, who was called Mark. This is John Mark's house, right? Where many had assembled and people were praying. He knocked at the door of the outer gate, and a servant named Rhoda came to answer. So he figured out what was going on. He goes immediately to Mary's house, John Mark's mother's house. That's where he goes. People are there praying. And he goes and he knocks on the door, and this servant girl named Rhoda shows up. Okay, if you go way back, you remember the show, Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda and all that. Not the same person. Okay, they come. She comes to the answer, right? And she recognized Peter's voice. And because of her joy, she did not open the gate, but ran in and announced that Peter was standing at the outer gate. So here's what happened. He goes and he knocks, right? There's like a wall around, and then there's a gate into that wall. And then inside there is the house, right? So it's not the front door of the house. It's the front door of the gate. He knocks on the gate. She recognizes the voice, doesn't open the gate, doesn't let him in, goes inside and says, Peter's outside, right? You're out of your mind, they said. They told her, but she kept insisting that it was true. And they said, well, it's his angel. Peter, however, kept on knocking. And when they opened the door and saw him, they were amazed. So she leaves Peter outside, and he's still knocking on the door. And she goes inside and tells him, and they start having an argument about it. He's still knocking. They finally go, and they see him, and they are amazed, and motioning to them with his hand to be silent. Calm down. Let me tell you. He described to them how the Lord had brought him out of the prison. Tell these things to James and the brothers. And then he left and he went to another place. So he left to go tell somebody else. He just left. And at daylight, there was a great commotion among the soldiers as to what had become of Peter. I like this little tag verse here, right? Okay, first, tell James, tell the brothers what's happened. This is one of those moments where, look, God is on our side. He has not left us. He has not abandoned us. I mean, I knew it. I was confident, but then the Lord delivered me. Let them know God is at work. But then here's this last thing. There's this commotion among the soldiers as to what had become of Peter. You go back here, right? There are 2 chains. There are 2 guards, multiple soldiers guarding the entrance. Peter leaves right past all of them, and they don't even know. In fact, the light shines that the angel shows up. Remember this? The angel shows up. A light shone in the cell, and apparently the soldiers didn't see it. Peter's the only one. In fact, they didn't even realize he'd left. So when we get here to the end, they're trying to figure out what happened. Where did he go? It's as much of a miracle as the fact that they got Peter out of jail, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing, right? What God has done and what God will do. You just say that. I mean, there's a lot we probably could say about this story. There's the humorous parts about it. But listen, God will spare no expense to accomplish his purposes in your life and through your church and through your family and all of that. Now, I agree with what has been said also, that God is under no obligation to bless my plans for my life. But God will spare no expense to bless his plans in your life. He'll do whatever needs to be done to get it done in your church, in your family, in your personal life. His plan, he will accomplish. He is not obligated to bless my plan for my life, or my plan for my church, or my plan for my family, but he will spare no expense to bless his. He will do what he must do to get done what he desires to get done. And for that, we take great confidence and great joy, and we go forward knowing. And I think that's what tell the brothers, tell James and the brothers, hey, God will get done what God needs to get done. Don't worry about it. Thanks for watching. I hope that's helped. Thanks for teaching. God bless you. We start on the next part of Acts next week. Appreciate you watching. Share the video with others. Let them know they're coming up next week. We'll see you then.